Well, welcome everyone. My name is Louise and I am here with Areli. And Areli's been a client and became a friend here, and she's doing some awesome work in her life. And we just wanted to have a conversation today, about what's been happening for you in the last, oh gosh, about 9 months. I've seen such great change in you. And this show is all about, how people have transformed their life, gotten back to their soul, really started looking at what they wanted to do for themselves, and what does that really look like in terms of transformation, and how can we help other people learn, so really let me just ask you a little bit about yourself. So I know that you have a beautiful daughter, right?
Yes,
Beautiful
3 years
daughter.
old.
She's 3 years old, and you are such an awesome mom.
Oh, thank you.
You're such an awesome mom to her. If I asked you, what are some of those challenges that you've had to overcome in your life? Uh, what would you say?
I think one that I was thinking about today is being a mother. I wasn't in the best relationship when she was born, so I was struggling with regret and regret. Just because of the situation of how everything was going, I was so stressed. I was like, was this the best decision of my life? I mean, I love my daughter, don't get
Mm-hmm.
me wrong, but now I feel like I love her from a place of love and not just obligation or regret, you know? Like I love her purely like it that's one thing that's I've noticed in myself, and other people have noticed, that I truly enjoy her, and I truly like, you always love your kids, but I feel like I love her from a place of love and authenticity, and that's like, I would say, one of the major changes that I've experienced um with
And how
it.
did you get there? I mean, like, so when you say, hey, you experienced this change, you went from maybe regret, you ended up in a relationship where now you're a single mom, kind of.
Yeah, then there was that too.
And so, so I'm sure other people have been in that place too. What shifted for you in terms of saying, you're saying now I can finally really say that I really love her and I get to spend time with her, and what shifted, do you think?
I think what shifted was working on my issues with my own mother, and letting go a lot of the anger, and letting go a lot of the resentment that I had towards her.
Hmm.
I had done therapy before. I did group work, and just the work that I have done with you, I think it's been so beneficial in just letting go of that anger and that disappointment with my mom, that now I totally can just like appreciate her for who she is now, instead of being like, what the hell, mom? you know?
Yes, yes.
So I think, yeah, that's been that changed. And I feel like now I come from a place of understanding and love and healing, and not so resentful towards her.
Okay, wonderful. And how did you get there? Sam, sure, again, there's other people who probably are still feeling some things with their parents, or,
Hmm.
their mom, whether it's resentment or, whatever emotions are kind of coming up. Um, I know that we've worked together, but something shifted for you when we started working then with you and your mom doing this. Is it the soul tie boxes?
Yeah, a lot of different. I think it's when we did the soul type box around support.
Okay.
And that's what allowed me to just let go of everything that or
Mm-hmm.
what I felt, or what I thought would be, what should be, or like just letting go of that. I remember that one was like, I mean, we did a lot with her,
Mm-hmm.
but I think that's the most, when we did the soul type backs around the support and around the situation, and just, because it all just like kind of like, rolled off of each other. So I think when we did that soul type backs with her, it really helped me, because I had talked about her before. I had done previous work in therapy and worked around, who she is as a person, and
Mm-hmm.
I think that led me, like, it's been steps, and I think that's was finally what just like took it over the edge, and just, you know, um, allowed me to let it go.
Allowed you to let it go. Awesome, awesome.
Yeah.
So it is the power of that soul level connection.
Yes,
that shifts?
definitely.
Because what I've watched in you is you are so much lighter, you know,
Yeah.
and more authentic in yourself.
Yeah, and that's another thing, standing up for myself and for my beliefs, and just standing in my truth. Like I've always kind of been tiptoeing about that, and I've always felt like, oh, I have to do this or I have to do that, but it's like, no, just standing in my truth. And when I stand in my very own truth, I know, I always like, how am I gonna know, like, what's, is it really that? But like, I felt it. When I felt it, like, there was absolutely 100% no doubt. And um that's been amazing too, to discover my intuition and my truth and standing in my ground. Because nobody, I mean, and people have always said I'm stubborn, but I don't think, I'm reasonable. But that, like, when I feel it inside of me, it's different.
It's different. Give us an example of where you were before and where you are now with standing in your truth.
Oh, I wouldn't. I didn't have the courage to stand in my truth. I thought I was, kind of crazy. Like, are these thoughts really real? Could they be real? I'm making this up. Oh my God, I'm crazy. I'm crazy. I'm crazy. Like, no, it was more so shaming myself
Okay.
for it.
Okay. And the difference between where you were then and now?
Oh, no, yeah, no. there is no, there is no shaming. It is what I mean, it's accepting it. It's working through it. It's, you know, telling myself this is what it is. This is what my beliefs are telling me, and this is how it is. And communicating that with people is also important, because you could say that to somebody and they're like, yeah, okay. Or like, well, I'm good. No, you're wrong. And this is why you're wrong. And it's like, I'm not asking you if I'm right or if I'm wrong. I'm not asking you to do what I'm doing. I'm telling you, this is what it is for me. You could decide what you want to do, but for me, this is what it is. And it's having that place of where I communicate that there is no doubt for anybody else to change my mind, that this is what it is.
Mm-hmm.
So you could feel how you're entitled to feel however you want to feel, but this is what it is for me. And I need you to respect that. And I don't think I required respect of anybody else prior to this. Now it's like, you have to respect it. If you don't like it, at minimal, you have to respect it.
So you've gotten back some self-respect.
Yeah. And
And you're
requiring,
emulating that to others.
yes, yes.
Yes. Yeah.
And yeah.
Yeah, that's huge. There's a huge shift there. I remember when you said something like, I went from being gray to sunshiny yellow. Tell us
Yeah.
what that means for you.
Oh, I was thinking about that. I was thinking about when we first worked together. We started working in November because it was around Thanksgiving, and November, December, and January. I mean, so much happened in my life, and I think so much had happened prior to it that we have cleared. So, like, I can't tell you what happened, because it was so. It would have been totally PTSD of what I was going through. I was getting out of a bad relationship. I was getting proposed to by this, and it was like so many emotions, so many confusions, so many things going on. And I was like, where do so many opinions on what people think you should be doing with your life. Um, that it was all hazy. And I remember talking to you, and I remember being really sick. And that's the last time I've been sick, was when the last time I had this, I had a really bad sinus infection, and you did some biofeedback and you recommended some um, supplements. And I was like, yeah, right. I was like, I don't know. We're going to try it because we've done the other stuff and that doesn't work. So let's just, what the hell? Why not? But I haven't gotten sick. I haven't gotten any allergies, any sinuses, any cold, any flu, like nothing. It's amazing.
Awesome.
And that's one thing that I could say. And another part is, I was just going through so much trauma. I was processing so much trauma. Um, that's why I think it was all gray. And then I think, I feel like we worked quite a bit those couple of months, maybe twice a month or every like 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
And it was so funny how the universe placed you into my life. Cause like I would have something happen, and then I would meet with you the following day and clear it out. And I was like, oh, okay, I'm moving on with my life.
So the timing was good, you're saying.
The timing was really good, and it's like I don't know how it happens or what happens, but it was like I don't think I could have gotten through it in a healthy way if I had not been working with you.
Mhm.
And I know that that might sound like, oh my God, like, but it was, and I think that's why it's great to me, those months, because so much happened and so much things that I was trying to clear. And I remember you're like, Aurelia, you don't have to make a decision, just take your time. And I was like, what do you mean? Like the house is on fire, you know? And just, working and doing and clearing things and clearing, and doing the mind jumps, that brings so much like serenity into the thoughts and the energy and the feelings, and it's just like, okay, let's ground. And yeah, that's why I think I felt that the first couple of months were great and kind of hazy because I was going through so much, and I
Right.
I don't think I realized it until I was able to clear my mind and be like, holy cow, how did I come out of that?
Mhm.
Now that I think about it, or my friend had a similar situation and I was like, I couldn't help her because I was like, I don't really remember what happened, and I don't think I could have gotten past it had I not had your help, because it was just difficult. And at this point in my life, I wouldn't have thought that I'd be going through that. So when my friend was going through it, I was like, I wish I could help you, but I kind of don't remember. And the fact that I'm able to talk about it without being so emotional, it was like that was really showing to me, because I'm a very emotional person. But I think in also working with you, I realized I also have good emotions. I have, it's okay to be happy. It's okay to be passionate. It's okay to be um, excited. There's not just sadness.
Mhm.
And so being emotional is not a bad thing.
No, it's not a bad thing. You've done such a beautiful job, not only you using the tools and standing up for yourself and realizing how important taking those steps were, but it's also taking action steps, like doing the mind jumps, taking those action steps. So, that's what I've seen in you that I so applaud,
Yeah.
and I really do feel from you that you are someone who can overcome challenges and you're always going to find what you need. But it also
Yeah.
sounds like you tried lots of things. You tried therapy and you tried lots of things. And, I guess what I want to share with us all here is, what we found. And it isn't like Louise is some kind of magical thing, you guys, there's other people out there that can help you too. That's not what this is. That's not what this is about. But it is about the fact that when we go as deep as the brain and the soul connection, it shifts things in a bigger way.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can become more authentically you. I call it 100% your soul's truth, so that your gift can shine in the world and you can sound like Areli. So if you've had, like issues with just feeling stuck, and we're all going to have places in our life where we get stuck.
Yeah, definitely.
We're supposed
Yeah.
to have those because that's how we grow,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know?
And
So it's just acknowledging it and then also working through it and also having some tools to help you,
mm-hmm.
whether that's a coach or a mentor or a therapist or you know um,
Yeah.
having some help with that. So you did such a beautiful job with that. Who have been some of your other top influencers like in your life?
As far as like people or healers
Or
or
even actresses or actors or somebody who you might even just look up to, or a past coach or
um well, there's you, and then there's Elspeth and Freddie,
okay.
who I've worked with. And because she'll like you're it's funny because you'll like you'll cradle me, like, well, not cradle me, but like like just softly tap me, and Elspeth like just slaps you with the truth. But you need that balance.
You need both, you do.
Yeah. And I
Yes.
think also like managing Dr. Rose with working with my weight and with my balancing out my body and nutrition.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like I couldn't have done one without the other. I felt like everything came together in order how it should. And it's so funny how the universe just puts everything, like, ask and you shall receive. I literally remember
Uh-huh.
years ago, I was like, I just need somebody that's gonna like reprogram my brain. I did not make these choices for myself. I did not make these decisions for myself. I am not owning them. But how do I get rid of them? And I was like, I know I sound crazy, like, but something has to be done. And then, a couple of years later, you came into my life. And the same thing with like, somebody needs to read my blood, like somebody needs to examine me like at a cellular level, because it's not normal that what I'm going through with my weight. Like, this is not me. And
Mm-hmm.
finding a doctor, that's a little bit challenging, but it's like all of the pieces, I feel there's no way that I could have done one without the other. And I think at the moment, those are the biggest influencers in my life. I mean, along with my mom, just because I feel she's human. She's overcome so much. And she's rolling with it. As much as grief as I feel like I want to give her, she's also learning with me and growing with me in all of this when I talk to her. And she's opening and she hears me, which is important.
Awesome. And there's been a shift there too, then, hasn't there been?
Oh yeah, there's been a really big shift there, because before, like, I would get frustrated by her not listening to me or not hearing me out, or just, so I think my patience has definitely grown for her, and my appreciation.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, and I think with like, because I feel like I'm able to see her in a different light.
Okay.
As a human.
Who actually changed? Who changed for that relationship to change between you and your mom? Who changed, you or your mom?
Me, because she hasn't changed.
um, yeah. So, when we change us, it changes the people around us, right?
Yeah.
It's an inside job, and what I see is those relationships that we've struggled with, maybe on a level that, hurts our heart. That's to dissipate once we start making those internal changes and releasing those soul level blocks.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's a journey,
definitely.
isn't it? It's definitely a journey. I love that you and your mom are close now and you're having a
Yeah.
party for her, and oh my gosh, that's so cool.
Yeah, I'm so excited about it.
Yeah, that's really awesome. So what keeps you motivated and why? What keeps you going?
Just to know, I remember one of my intentions was that I could have the life I've dreamed. And when you said that to me, and I was like, what? Because what I have in my mind and what it is in reality, like, really? Like, I know you always think you could always have what you want, but you said it. You were the first, I think, human being that you said it, and I actually like accepted it, and you were like, you could have the life you want, you could have the body you want. And I was like, really? It was like brand news to me. So I think that's what definitely keeps me going, because when I do my mind jumps, that was the intentions that I loved, that I could have the life I want.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what keeps me going. And just how, from changing it for Aria, for my daughter, she's gonna have such an awesome life. Like, I'm excited to see it. And just having the life I've always dreamed of.
Awesome.
And I think, like, also now that I feel like that I've accepted what my gifts are and developing them, like, it's like so amazing how I could, just like, it's amazing how I could feel people's energy, and I could, like,
Mm-hmm.
and before I'd be like, am I making this up in my mind? Like, or are these really like what I'm getting? And that's like so amazing, what I just being more comfortable with that, and not labeling myself as crazy or as, something else.
So it's accepting it sounds like what you're saying is you're accepting their gift of intuition.
Yeah,
Trusting
because
your gut more when you get those messages.
yeah, and they're so weird, because I'm like, they're so weird, because some people I love, and some people I'm like, don't touch me, don't look at me, you're such a like, and they're bad things, and I'm like, where is this coming from? But that's just what's coming to me, and it's not like it's internal or anything, but it's just amazing. And there's just some people I'm like, oh my God, I want to hug you and love you. Were we family before?
Uh-huh.
And it is definitely accepting it and not pushing it away.
Wonderful. So that's a shift too.
Yeah, that's a very big shift because before I've always had this as a little girl, and I remember being always so scared, being scared of the dark, being scared in the shower, being scared of in front of a mirror. Um, and yesterday I was like, well, I'm away for work, and um, my face looked totally different, and I was like, holy cow! I was like, okay, well, we're just gonna wipe this because we're not ready for it. But I didn't run initially. I thought it was kind of cool, but I'm like, okay, wait, no, this is. Um, but yeah, it's like, wow, it's very strong. And I've found the more I'm at peace with myself, the more it comes to me.
Wow, that's a big statement of trust, Areli.
Yeah.
Did you
Well,
just hear
yeah.
that? That was very cool. The more that the more comes to you.
Yeah.
They're listening. Yeah. Yeah. If you have one tip on on that topic of intuition for our viewers today, what would you say to them?
Don't be scared of it. Um, because if you're scared, I mean, it's how are you not scared? It's accepting yourself, because for a long time I was so scared of it, just because of, when it's, I don't know, just don't be scared of it. I know that's such a, because if somebody were to be like, you're crazy, like, um, accept yourself. I would say more than that. It was accepting myself and knowing that I wouldn't put myself in danger, and I think believing that God wouldn't put me in danger. Um, it's also having that faith of I think one of the coolest things that I learned about myself is about my past family, about like my great grandmother,
Mm-hmm.
and just if my intuition scares me, I know that she wouldn't place me in danger. So it's
Nice.
accepting myself, um, and having faith that there's greater power watching you, or, like protecting you or helping you. I mean, yeah, you have to be active about it and kind of go with your gut and make good intuitions. But I
Mm-hmm.
think it's having faith. I think that's what got me through yesterday. That I was like, okay, well, nothing happens. Nobody will want, something will like if I wasn't meant to be in my room, then something would happen. I think,
Mm-hmm.
and so it's just trusting and accepting.
Trusting and accepting. Okay. And it sounds like you feel your grandmother's energy around you, um,
Yeah.
helping you, and you're trusting and accepting that is what I'm hearing.
Yes. Yes.
Mhm.
And I think also, my great grandmother, yes. And then it's also like, I still love her. I love my mom's mom. And she was like, she was my favorite person. But also realizing that she was a human and she was a woman and she was also makes mistakes.
Mhm.
And so I think the first lesson that I learned, if I can learn that through her and she still loved me, so can other people.
Wonderful. So you felt her love.
Yeah, no, yeah, she was.
But you're so passionate. I mean, I just love that about you. I mean, the passion that you have in your family, that you can feel, I don't know, maybe, I hope other people can feel this too. I mean, I can feel your love and your passion. And when you talk about your family and how important they are to you, and I can see where you guys can be like, sort of that both sides of the spectrum, kind of that really hot, passionate for each other, but probably get angry with each other too. Like it's
Yeah.
like emotional on both sides. And I guess that's just so cool there. And you're letting the judgment go about that. You're just allowing.
Yeah, no, yeah, definitely. And you said it perfectly, because as huggy, sunshiny, and happy I could be, I could also be very, this is what it is and this is where I'm at. What are you gonna do?
Uh-huh. Well, but
Or
that's a
very,
survival skill. You've got that.
yeah, and
Mhm.
also very, yeah, I have that down. Well, no, I
Yes.
didn't. I think I got more comfortable with it because depending with who it is, I feel like I stand in my truth, and how we stand depends on how you are on my truth.
Mhm. Right, right. So the
And
bottom line is truth, isn't it? It's that truth,
mm-hmm,
it's that acceptance, staying in your power.
yes,
Yes.
definitely.
Yes, absolutely. And what I've watched too, I bet this is true, is your daughter is that way now too because you are.
Yeah, I mean, our relationship has changed so much.
Mhm.
I am, and I loved her before. I don't want people to think I didn't love my daughter, but I was at a hard place. I was stressed. I was probably depressed,
Mhm.
anxiety, and like I was in a bad relationship and just thinking like, "Oh, why did I do? Like, and that was like thinking before that I loved somebody so much that I thought my love could change them because why wouldn't I mean I'm great. Why wouldn't you want to love me back and change? But that doesn't just because I love you so much, that doesn't bring change for somebody has to change because that's what they want.
Mhm.
And my love is not to be taken advantage of or taken for granted. And um, it's I've learned that some people are not, you have to what do I say? It's a privilege to be loved by anybody, and you can't just, you know, take that for granted. But I also learned that love can't change anyone. It has to be within themselves as well.
Within themselves. Wow, what a great step
Yeah.
forward. And what a powerful statement again for other people who are in relationship, who are, in relationships that aren't working and they're maybe working on it, or they're trying to make it work, or
Yeah.
they're feeling badly about themselves because it isn't working, right? And they don't know what the next step is or what to do. So if you were going to give, our people here, one tip or, a couple tips on what you did, and I know we worked together, but what else did you do, or what did you do to make that change so that you could move forward after being in this chaotic relationship?
Um, what did I do? I was tired of learning the lessons the hard way.
Mm, okay.
Of
Mhm.
so I think I had made a decision. I remember talking with a girlfriend and I was like, I can't do this anymore. I am mentally, emotionally exhausted. I have to listen to other people. I have to listen to myself. Like I think I made that decision that I will no longer learn my lessons the hard way.
Awesome. Hmm.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, one more chance or this or that, and it's like no.
So
Sometimes
your biggest tip for somebody, like if there was a girlfriend on the line who's going through the same thing, right? A difficult relationship, wondering whether they should stay together. They have a child together, and it looks like it might be going to separation, to divorce, and they're anxious about it. What would you say to them?
it's gonna be okay.
Okay. Awesome.
um and you're gonna question whether you're doing the right thing or the wrong thing, and you're gonna doubt, and and a lot of confusion. But I think it's like taking that time and working on yourself and working on what you want, and like just being patient with yourself and accepting the failure of the relationship. I think that was a big thing for me as well, to let it go. I think we cleared a lot around that as well, and just because it failed doesn't mean you're a failure. Or it's
Mhm.
okay to love somebody and not be with them. um and you have to want it for yourself. You Nobody, I mean, yes, you're great, but it's also me that's doing the work, that's going through the trauma, and and reliving it. So I think you have to want it for yourself, and for your better, to stop learning the lessons the hard way. Because you don't have to.
Beautifully said. Wow. You know what? Thank you, Areli, for your wisdom today and for sharing so openly and having the vulnerability, just sharing openly and honestly with everyone here today. I know so many people are going to learn from just listening to someone else's journey. We learn from each other. It's people who need people. We all need people on this planet.
Yeah.
And so I thank you for your time and the gift of sharing with everyone today. Thank you so
Oh, thank.
much.
I'm glad to. I'm glad to. Be sunshiny because a year ago I was not.
We should find that before picture because
Oh
that'd
my
be
God.
that'd be pretty
Yeah,
pretty good.
it's
Yes.
big difference.
Yeah, big difference. Love that sunshiny smile of yours.
Yeah.
Thank you
Yeah.
so much.